Every single day, you use inventions created by these 10 men. The traffic light that stops you at intersections. The light bulb illuminating your room. The refrigerated truck delivering food to your grocery store. The computer you're watching this on. All invented by men you've never heard of. That ends today. This is the top 10 inventors who changed the world, ranked by impact. These are the men whose genius shaped modern life. The innovators who were erased from history. The pioneers who deserve credit but never got it. Number 10. Dr. Mark Dean. Dr. Mark Dean holds 3 of IBM's original 9 PC patents. His most important patent, US 4528626, microcomputer system with bus control, means for peripheral processing devices. But that's not all. Dean co-invented the ISA bus, the system that allows your computer's internal components to communicate with each other. He led the team that created the first gigahertz processor. Without Mark Dean, personal computers as we know them wouldn't exist. What you have today because of him: every PC, every laptop, every desktop computer, the ability to compress images and videos, high-speed processors, the device you're watching this video on right now. Dr. Mark Dean proved that innovation doesn't stop. He kept inventing for decades at IBM. Number 9. Andrew Beard. Before Andrew Beard's invention, railroad workers had to manually couple train cars together by standing between them. Thousands of workers lost fingers, hands, arms, even their lives. Andrew Beard invented the automatic railroad car coupler. Patent number US 594059. Car coupler. Granted in 1897. His invention allowed train cars to couple automatically without human contact. It saved countless lives and limbs. Beard sold this patent for $50,000, a massive fortune in 1897. What you have today because of him: safe railroad operations. Every freight train, passenger train, and subway system uses automatic couplers based on his design. Thousands of workers kept their limbs and lives. Andrew Beard turned tragedy into innovation. Number 8. Alexander Miles. Every time you step into an elevator and the doors close automatically behind you, that's Alexander Miles saving your life. Patent number US 371207, elevator, granted in 1887. Before Miles, elevator doors had to be manually opened and closed by the operator or passengers. If someone forgot to close the shaft door on their floor, the next person could step into an open elevator shaft and fall to their death. This happened all the time. Miles invented the automatic opening and closing mechanism for elevator doors. His system used a flexible belt attached to the elevator cage that would automatically close the shaft door when the elevator moved away from a floor, and automatically open it when the elevator arrived. It made elevators safe. What you have today because of him: every automatic elevator door in every building. Every safety mechanism that prevents you from walking into an open elevator shaft. The entire vertical transportation industry relies on Miles's innovation. Alexander Miles made skyscrapers safe to use. Without him, tall buildings would be death traps. Number 7. Lonnie Johnson. This man worked as a NASA engineer on the Galileo mission to Jupiter and the stealth bomber program. And then he invented the Super Soaker. Patent number US 4591071, pneumatic launcher, granted in 1986. The Super Soaker became the top-selling toy in America and generated over $1 billion in sales. But Johnson didn't stop there. He holds over 100 patents, including improvements to the Nerf gun and revolutionary energy storage technology that could power our future. What you have today because of him: every Super Soaker, Nerf gun, and high-performance water toy, plus ongoing battery and energy innovations from his Johnson Thermo-Electrochemical Converter System, JTEC. A NASA engineer who made $1 billion from a water gun. That's Lonnie Johnson. Number 6. Otis Boykin. Otis Boykin held 26 patents, but his most important was the electrical resistor that made pacemakers safe and reliable. Patent number US 2972726, electrical resistor, granted in 1961. Before Boykin's resistor, pacemakers were unreliable and dangerous. His precision resistor made them stable and effective. His resistors are also in guided missiles, computers, radios, televisions, and virtually every electronic device. The tragic irony? Otis Boykin died of heart failure at age 47. The very device he helped perfect, the pacemaker, couldn't save him. What you have today because of him? Pacemakers that have saved millions of lives. Resistors in every computer, phone, TV, and electronic device you own. Guided missile technology. Otis Boykin's heart gave out, but his inventions keep millions of hearts beating. Number 5. Elijah McCoy. You know the phrase, the real McCoy? It comes from him. Born in Canada to parents who escaped slavery via the Underground Railroad, McCoy studied mechanical engineering in Scotland. But when he came to America, he couldn't get an engineering job. So he worked as a fireman and oiler on the railroad. And there, he invented the automatic lubricator for steam engines. Patent number US 129843, Improvement in Lubricators for Steam Engines, granted in 1872. Before McCoy, trains had to stop every few miles so workers could manually lubricate the engines. His invention allowed continuous operation, revolutionizing rail transport and industrial machinery. His lubricators were so superior that engineers would ask, "Is that the real McCoy?" when buying equipment, rejecting inferior imitations. He held 57 patents total. What you have today because of him? Modern train systems, automated lubrication in all machinery, factory equipment that runs continuously without stopping for manual maintenance, and the phrase, the real McCoy, meaning the genuine article. Elijah McCoy was the real deal, literally. Real quick, if you're learning something here, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe because I'm covering more inventors whose stories have been erased from history. And drop a comment. Which of these inventors surprised you the most? All right, back to the top 10. We're getting to the heavy hitters now. Number 4. Granville T. Woods. They called him the Black Edison. And Thomas Edison hated it so much that he tried to steal Woods' patents, twice. Granville T. Woods held over 50 patents. His most important, the railway telegraph system. Patent number US 373383, Induction Telegraph System, granted in 1887. This invention allowed moving trains to communicate with stations and with each other, preventing collisions and saving countless lives. Thomas Edison sued him, claiming Woods stole his idea. Woods won in court. Edison sued again. Woods won again. Then Edison did something unexpected. He offered Woods a job. Woods turned him down and kept inventing independently. What you have today because of him? Modern train communication systems, the third rail that powers electric trains, automatic air brakes, and the multiplex telegraph that became foundational to modern telecommunications. Granville T. Woods beat Edison in court twice and refused to work for him. Legend. Number 3. Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan invented 2 things that save lives every single day. First, the traffic light. Patent number US 1475024, traffic signal, granted in 1923. Morgan's 3-position traffic signal, red, yellow, green, became the standard used worldwide. But before that, he invented the gas mask. Patent number US 1113675, safety hood, granted in 1914. Here's the heartbreaking part. Garrett Morgan had to hire a white actor to demonstrate his safety hood because white fire departments wouldn't buy equipment from him. In 1916, Morgan used his gas mask to rescue 32 men trapped in a tunnel explosion in Cleveland. He became a hero until they discovered who he really was. Then cities across the South canceled their orders. He eventually sold the patent to General Electric for $40,000. What you have today because of him? Every traffic light at every intersection worldwide. Every gas mask used by firefighters, soldiers, chemical workers, and rescue personnel. Millions of lives saved by both inventions. Garrett Morgan had to hide who he was to save lives. Number 2. Lewis Latimer. Lewis Latimer worked for both Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison, and both men took credit for his work. Latimer drew the blueprints for Bell's telephone patent. Bell got famous. Latimer got paid as a draftsman. Then Latimer went to work for Hiram Maxim, Edison's biggest rival, and invented something revolutionary. Patent number US 252386, process of manufacturing carbons, granted in 1882. Latimer invented a carbon filament for light bulbs that lasted longer and was cheaper to produce than Edison's bamboo filament. This made electric lighting affordable and practical for everyday people. Edison eventually hired Latimer, and he became the only African-American member of Edison's elite engineering team called the Edison Pioneers. But history remembers Edison as the light bulb inventor, not Latimer. Latimer also patented an improved railroad car toilet, patent US 147363, making long-distance train travel bearable for everyone. What you have today because of him: long-lasting, affordable light bulbs in every home, the telephone as we know it, functional bathrooms on trains and planes. Lewis Latimer made Edison's and Bell's inventions actually work, but they got the credit and the statues. Number 1. Frederick McKinley Jones. Frederick McKinley Jones held 61 patents, 40 in refrigeration alone. But one patent changed everything. Patent number US 2303857, air conditioning unit for vehicles, granted in 1940. This was the first practical mobile refrigeration system. Before Jones, food was transported with ice that melted. Fresh food was only available locally and seasonally. The frozen food industry didn't exist. Supermarkets couldn't stock fresh produce year-round. Jones invented a compact, shock-resistant refrigeration unit that could mount on the front of trucks and withstand the constant pounding of road vibrations. It started with a $6 golf bet. A trucking executive named Harry Werner lost an entire cargo of chickens because the ice melted. Jones's boss, Joseph Numero, bet $6 he could solve it. Jones did. He co-founded Thermo King Corporation with Numero, becoming vice president of engineering. By 1949, the company was worth $3 million. By 1997, when sold to Ingersoll Rand, it was doing over $1 billion in annual sales. During World War II, Jones's refrigeration unit saved thousands of soldiers' lives by transporting blood, medicine, and food to battlefields in the Pacific. One publication wrote, "Doughboys and leathernecks down in the steaming jungles of the South Pacific have fresh vegetables and meat on their bill of fare because of the inventive genius of a Minneapolis man." After the war, his invention made supermarkets possible. Frozen food, fresh produce year-round, international food trade, container shipping. In 1944, Jones became the first African-American elected to the American Society of Refrigeration Engineers. In 1991, he became the first African-American to receive the National Medal of Technology, awarded posthumously by President George H.W. Bush. What you have today because of him: every refrigerated truck on every highway, every supermarket, every frozen pizza, every pint of ice cream, every fresh strawberry in winter, every refrigerated shipping container moving food across oceans, the entire global food system. Frederick McKinley Jones didn't just change one industry, he changed how the entire world eats. That's why he's number 1. Before we wrap up, here are some honorable mentions who deserve their own videos. George Washington Carver, 300+ uses for peanuts, gave away most inventions, never patented. Dr. Charles Drew, blood bank system, medical process, not patented but saved millions. Jan Matzeliger, shoe lasting machine, patent US 274207, made affordable shoes possible. Benjamin Banneker, almanac publisher, helped survey Washington, D.C. Richard Spikes, automatic gear shift, patent US 1889814. 10 men, 10 patents that changed the world. The traffic light, the light bulb, refrigerated trucks, pacemakers, computers, railroad safety, trains that don't stop. Every single one invented by a man whose name has been erased from history. But not anymore. If this video opened your eyes, here's what I need you to do. Hit that like button so YouTube shows this to more people. Subscribe to the channel because I'm doing a whole series on inventors, men and women, whose stories deserve to be told. Drop a comment and tell me, which inventor on this list deserves their own full video? Frederick Jones? Garrett Morgan? Lewis Latimer? Let me know. And share this video. Send it to your family, your friends, your kids' teachers, because these stories need to be told. These men changed the world, and it's time we remembered their names.